Welcome to Refuse to Lose. My name is Joe Jordan. I am your host today. Before we get into our great sports topic we're going to go over, please like this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel and enjoy the rest of the show.
I refuse to lose. I'd rather get these weak dudes the blues and separate them from their Jews. Teach them don'ts and do's. I raise tools, make crews, make decisions confused.
So yesterday I was prepared to make a video for East Division and tell you who I believe will win the division. So what I'm going to do this time instead is create one video and give you my full playoff picture and simulate the playoffs to the Super Bowl and tell you my Super Bowl winner. So let's start off by giving you the division crowns, who I believe will win the East Division. So let's start off with the AFC West. AFC West, we have the Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Chargers. I believe the Chiefs will win that division easily. They will win by a huge spread. They had a far more superior team than any of these teams. The only team that will have a great defense is the Broncos, but they don't have enough firepower on offense to compete with the Chiefs. So I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win that division easily. And then we have the AFC South. I made a video about this yesterday, but I'm going to run through the teams very quickly. We have the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans. And if you watch my video, I chose the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, to win this division. If you want to know more in detail why I picked the Colts, just check out my last YouTube video and it'll tell you why I picked the Colts. And then we have the AFC North. With the AFC North, we have the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers. This was one of the hardest divisions to pick from. It was very tough. You have the Ravens, the number one running game. Will have the number one running game again this year. They opposed some defensive mistakes they had last year. They were doing a terrible job passing the rush, so they had to do a lot of blitz schemes. You know, I believe they blitzed more than anybody last year. You have the Bengals, who have their quarterback back, Joe Burrow, which, I mean, we all can agree that they're not going to be competing for the number one spot this year. We have the Cleveland Browns, who has really a complete team. They have a great offensive line. They have maybe a tier one, maybe tier two defense, right? They have a great rushing attack. They have two great running backs, and they have two great receivers. You know, so, and then you have Baker Mayfield. So their Achilles heel is just Baker Mayfield. Can he be consistent on a daily basis to actually win on ball games? And then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have an aging quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, but they have a good receiving core. The problem with them is they don't have a running game, but they have a good defense led by TJ Watt. So after saying all that, my division winner for this division would be the Baltimore Ravens, guys. I believe the Baltimore Ravens will win the division. I just believe in Lamar Jackson and any of these other quarterbacks in this division. He's the X factor. He's a playmaker. Game is close. In the regular season, he made things happen, right? So I believe that the Ravens will pull off the division title in the AFC North. And now we go to the AFC East. The AFC East was also tough, kind of similar to the AFC North. The AFC East, we have the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins, the New England Patriots, and the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Jets, we can just move them to the side with Zach Wilson, kind of like the Bengals. You know, they have a promising quarterback, but they will not be competing for the number one spot in the AFC East. But then we have the Miami Dolphins. We have Tua coming into a second year. Getting the first year as a starter, getting the experience. You know, Miami has a great defense also. They also have I love their coach. They have a great coach. So the Dolphins will be a challenge in the AFC East. You also have the Patriots. The Patriots made a lot of acquisitions in the offseason. You know, they grabbed two tight ends. They buffed up the wide receiver position. They also have a new quarterback in the realm, which is more accurate than Cam Newton. I don't believe he's better than Cam Newton, but he's more accurate. Mac Jones is a more accurate quarterback than Cam Newton, which is what they need right now. Plus, they had a lot of people that was on the COVID that opt out last year on the defensive side for COVID reasons. Now they're full defense. They're full. Also, so I believe that the New England Patriots will have a top 3 defense next year. Just watch out for that, right? And then you had the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen, MVP candidate. They ran away with the division last year. I believe the last 10 games they won. The Bills went 9-1. Josh Allen was playing lights out. But the problem with the Bills is they don't have a run game. They depend highly on Josh Allen. So after saying all that, guys, I believe the Patriots will win the AFC East. They will make an upset because I know the Bills are the favorite. They will upset the Bills, and they will make the playoffs. The Bills will not make the playoffs. They will actually win the AFC East. The Patriots will. All right, so I have the Patriots. Now let's go to the NFC East. The NFC East, we have Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington football team. Now, you look at this division, I mean, you have the Giants, who has all quarterbacks are not reliable. All quarterback. I mean, a lot of people said Dak Prescott is, but he just came from a gruesome injury. He still have that shoulder injury is lingering, right? So I don't know what's going to happen with his health. And plus, the Cowboys' defense is terrible. I know they addressed the defense during the NFL draft, but we'll see what happens with that. And then it's the Cowboys. The Cowboys are on hard knocks. They're getting too much publicity. Whenever the spotlight's on Dallas, they always crumble. And then you have the New York Giants. The New York Giants getting Saquon Barkley back. He's not fully healthy, but he's questionable for week 1. You know, the Giants will have an improved defense also, and I'm not sure how the quarterback will look this year. He's not reliable. He's a turnover machine. And then you have the Philadelphia Eagles, who just they just all upside down. I'm not sure why they were debating if they would start Jalen Hurts or not. They just have a terrible organization right now. They need to fix some things up there. So the Eagles would not be competing for the number 1 spot in the NFC East. And then you had a Washington football team who are similar to maybe the Cleveland Browns, maybe the 49ers. You know, they have a great defense. I believe the Washington football team, you can see I'm a Washington football team fan. I believe the Washington football team has the best defensive line in the NFL. All right, we have a good receiving core. We also have Gibson. I believe Gibson will be a rising star this year. I think he'll have a breakout season. But Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic or Fitztragic, you don't know what you're going to get for him, so you can't really trust that. So after saying all that, I believe the Washington football team will win this division. I just believe, none of these quarterbacks are reliable, but yet they have the best complete team. If you take the quarterbacks out, the Washington football team has the best team. So that's why I chose the Washington football. And then I believe that they have the perfect team for Fitzpatrick. He's a gunslinger, very risky quarterback. And, the type of receivers we have 2 speedy receivers. We need somebody like that. So, and then with the turnovers, we have a great defense to make up for that. So I just think and then this division is not a great division. So before, he played for the Dolphins, he played in the same division as the Patriots and et cetera, right? But with the Bills, same division as the Patriots. But with the Washington football team, it's not a great division. So we don't have to win 12, 13 games to win this division. So I believe Ryan Fitzpatrick will make it to the playoffs for the first time in his career. And then you had the NFC South. NFC South, we had the Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints. Now, Atlanta Falcons, I believe they will have a high-power offense. High-power offense, defense terrible. They will have a terrible defense. Everybody's going to score on them. They're not going to be competing. Carolina Panthers, all right? They have Donald as a quarterback. I'm not sure if he would be a bigger difference than Teddy Bridgewater, but I don't think the Panthers will be competing for the number 1 spot in this division. And then you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady and the best offensive weapons in the game: Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronkowski. You have O.J. Howard, Cameron Braid, Scotty Miller. I mean, they just have a great receiving core. And then you have Jones, Fournette. You have Giovanni Bernard, a 3-headed monster right there. And then Tom Brady at the quarterback. So, and then they have a great defense on top of that. So, I mean, it's tough. And then you have the New Orleans Saints. Now, don't sleep on the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints, they have Jameis Winston, who is going to replace Drew Brees. Drew Brees did not have a great season last year. So Jameis Winston, and they still won the division last year, and they were still a great team. Don't forget, the Saints also have a great defense. Now, with Sean Payton, with Jameis Winston, I believe they will make magic. I don't believe he will be like an MVP candidate or anything like that, but I believe he will overperform than what people expect him to do. So, but at the center of that, I have the Buccaneers winning this division. So the Buccaneers will take away the NFC South. And then you have the NFC North. We have the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings. So with the Bears, they had a quarterback controversy, Andy Dalton starting. I don't understand that. Maybe they want to put the rookie quarterback there too soon. I'm not sure, but the Bears won't. This is a good race to the point. The Bears won't be competing. The Lions won't be competing, and the Vikings will put up a okay fight, but I believe the Packers are going to run away with this division easily. So we're going to stick with the Green Bay Packers. And then we have the NFC East. We have the Cardinals, the Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks. This is also a tough one. We have the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, this inches away from making the playoffs last year, motivated to come back to finish strong. We have the Rams, who made a lot of acquisitions for the all season, especially at the quarterback. You know, getting they got their guy, they got their gunslinger, no excuses for them. Then you have the 49ers, who had a lot of injuries last year. They all are coming back. Remember, this was a Super Bowl team 2 years ago, and they got hit with injuries. They got their quarterback, Garoppolo, back, and they have their rookie quarterback behind them, who people are anticipating to come back. I believe Garoppolo will finish the whole season as a starting quarterback, by the way. And we have the Seahawks, Russell Wilson. Hey, let Russ cook. Whenever Russell Wilson's on the ball on the team, you have a shot to make it to win the division. So I believe the 49ers will win this division. The 49ers will bounce back and have a great season this year. All right, mark my words. So let's look over our playoff picture. So we went over the division winners. Now let me tell you who I think will make the wild card. So let's start with the AFC East. So I'm gonna start from seed 1 to 7. We have number 1 seed, I believe, will be the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2 seed will be the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3 seed will be the New England Patriots, guys. Number 4 seed will be the Indianapolis Colts. Now, for the wild card, for the 5th seed, we have the Buffalo Bills, 6th seed, the Tennessee Titans, and the 7th seed, the Cleveland Browns. So people that got snubbed, Pittsburgh Steelers were snubbed. You know, you have people in the Dolphins were snubbed. So I believe the Dolphins or the Steelers will not make the playoffs this year. But yeah, but the AFC North will have 2 teams in the AFC. I'm sorry, in the AFC playoffs, and yeah. So and then also the AFC South will have 2 teams in the playoffs. And now let's go to the NFC playoff picture. Number 1 seed, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 2 seed, San Francisco 49ers. Number 3 seed, Green Bay Packers. Number 4 seed, Washington Football Team. Now the wild card, 5th seed, we have the New Orleans Saints. 6th seed, St. Louis Rams. Sorry, Los Angeles Rams. Sorry. And then we have the number 7 seed, the Seattle Seahawks. So Bucks, 49ers, Packers, Washington Football Team, Saints, Rams, Seahawks. That's my playoff picture right there. So let's go to round 1. Start with the AFC. Round 1, we have the Ravens versus the Browns. I believe the Ravens will knock out the Browns in the first round. Then we have the Patriots versus the Titans. I believe the Patriots will beat the Titans in the first round. We have the Colts versus the Bills. I believe the Bills will beat the Colts in the first round. The NFC, we have the 49ers versus the Seahawks in the first round. I believe the 49ers will win that game. We had the Packers versus the Rams in the first round. I believe the Rams will win that game. We had Washington Football Team versus the Saints. I believe the Washington Football Team will beat the Saints, guys. I believe it will. I believe Jameis Winston will have about 2 or 3 turnovers that game, and the Washington Football Team will prevail that game. Now let's go back to the AFC playoffs. Number 1 seed Chiefs against the 5th seed Bills. I believe the Chiefs will beat the Bills. The number 2 seed Ravens versus the number 3 seed Patriots. I believe the Patriots will beat the Ravens. And then we have the NFC, the number 1 Bucks versus the number 6 Rams. I believe the Rams are going to knock out the Bucks, guys. They're going to knock out Tom Brady and the Bucks. We have the number 2 49ers versus the number 4 Washington Football Team. I believe the 49ers will beat the Washington Football Team in a close game. I believe it will be close to the very end, and then it will create some separation somewhere in the fourth quarter with some momentum. And then we have the AFC Championship. We have the Chiefs versus the Patriots. I believe the Chiefs will knock out the Patriots and make it to the Super Bowl. We have the 49ers versus the Rams. I believe the Rams will beat the 49ers and make it to the Super Bowl. And then our Super Bowl matchup, we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. Thank you for staying to the end. If you like what you heard today, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you dislike what you heard today, do me a favor, please still like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, anything you agree or disagree with the video, please put it in the comment section so we can have a conversation. I will try my best to respond to your message. And make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see the next time I upload my video, and you can stay tuned for everything we have coming up next. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next episode.
I refuse to lose. I'd rather get these weak dudes the blues and separate them from their Jews. Teach them don'ts and do's. I raise tools, make crews, make decisions confused.